Welcome to the Addicted Motors YouTube channel. It is bright and early on this Sunday morning. Instead of brunch, I'm someplace. So, you know, some people like to hike. I'm not much of a hiker. I think I'd rather stroll through the deserted aisles after a heavy rain and stare at the beautiful wonders that is our local junkyard. And, you know, I might not be the only one, but it's something pretty peaceful about being the only person at a oil-soaked, automotive smelled, wonderful lot of decrepit, smelly, wet cars. But there's something to be said about that. So let's, there's a couple cars I want to show you, but let's go into what is sitting here now. So this must be Mercedes month, because there's slammed with 300 Ds. This is 77, I think. All types of interesting stuff. Looks like it's been stripped of most of the interesting parts, but more interestingly, these little 190s, there's a whole bunch of them. This one looked like it suffered a side hit. But still plenty of parts left. I had a couple of these fun little cars. I think mine was a 2.6 or 2.8. Doesn't have an inspection sticker since 05, so most likely sitting for a while. Another 190. It's a black one. What is it? 2.6. Yeah, I mean, most people want these in a manual, and yes, manual is the ideal application for it, but they are, I would not pass one up. I did enjoy. I have a video and I'll link it in the description. This was I think this is an interesting, so someone already stripped the interior out of it. It was a little 318, but it was cloth seats. You can see someone took the driver in the passenger seat, but it had this type of interesting cloth manual seat interior. Obviously, it's now been completely disassembled, but those were there when I was here last week. Yeah, little 318 Ti. There's a cap sticker on it, and we're at cap just to fill out other parts. So it met its maker. It's, I guess, the equivalent of having a Jesus sticker on the back of your truck and meeting your maker. More BMWs, a little 325 automatic. Usually people harvest the manual transmissions pretty quick, but the autos definitely hang out a bit longer. Here's another smashed E36, another 4-cylinder 318, and this one actually had really great paint, really great interior. I could use that passenger seat, but I really don't have a need. I really need to replace the driver's seat. I took the rear tail lights though, but this one was in really decent condition, paint and body-wise. Looks like it just unfortunately took a hit, and now it's a donor parts car, but you know, still a lot of salvageable bits on here. Actually, I'm gonna dive in a little deeper. That's like junkyard syndrome. You go in, oh, it still has the manual transmission, no one pulled it yet. And you go in with an idea of what you want, and as soon as you get here, you forget, and then you're having to come back. You're gonna have to cross the moat here. That's a little 7 Series with a wonderful paint job. It's funny though, because especially around this area, there's a lot of these cars you actually see driving around your community, and then you know, a couple weeks later, they end up here. And you kind of get to see what the aftermath was. This one is owned by Superman with an awesome wrap on it. Looks like that handle's been busted off. She's pretty rough. Pretty rough. So, aftermarket body kit, I wonder what makes it AC. Schneider, never know how to pronounce that properly. I doubt if there's any modifications to the actual engine associated. Usually that's just a body kit and wheels and whatnot. Exhaust looks fairly stock as well. But again, not the reason why we're here, but an interesting find nonetheless. A 5-liter supercharged, or sorry, HSC. Range Rover Sport. Usually not something that you see these days languishing in the junkyard. I don't know what I would need or what would really correspond with any of my trucks. It looks like some people have already harvested some things from it, but not a whole lot I think that's usable Maybe the steering wheel, oh, that's not connected to anything. Maybe the steering wheel for the LR3, but that's really all I can think of. But it looks like, wow, someone's harvested the intake off of it. I don't know, maybe some fuses, you know, I don't know what the deal is or what you'd really want, honestly. Oh no, it's right there. CV joint, you know, doesn't have a skid plate. I need a skid plate. But again, it's gonna be interesting as these will start showing up. You know, what happened is they'll show up for a period of time when the engines blow, because they're 5 liters, they'll all blow. And then they won't show up at all because people will decide they're semi-potentially valuable and hoard the, oh look, this one, I guess that's the air shock, but that air shock looks kind of funky. Interesting. I wonder what the story is. Probably the fact that it's an old Range Rover. Anyway, let's move on. The next interesting find is this early edition Gen 1 L322 BMW powered truck that, yeah, ended up here. Also something you don't see that often in Gen, and I'm surprised, again, I think these are gonna start showing up and they're gonna disappear again, honestly. Interior's not terrible. Obviously it's been sitting, you know, it's got that little tree smell, but still some bits in here. Again, I don't know really what would carry over for useful bits for my truck, but it's good to know that it's here, I guess. Huh. It's pretty soupy. All the things I want to get in. It's not oily water. Ooh, a gas cap. I need one of those. Yeah, so like always, let me know if there's something you think I should grab off this, or that is more valuable, or something that's, you know, worth grabbing while it's here. Because I can't think of anything off the top of my head, honestly. So let's check out the rest of what we have going on here. So now on to why I'm here and what I actually came here for. Something major. It's this, nope, it's that tiny little washer piece. XC90. So yeah, real big stuff. All right, so check out this Mercedes. This is like a 250, like a S250 straight six. Yeah, gas. Was this a W111, 110? I haven't talked Mercedes for a while. I'm not 100%. It's before a 116. And she's rough, but it's here. It's here. There's parts available. You got the carbs sitting in the back. Good yard art. Cool patina. You know, rusted, but it's all there for the most part. But it's interesting. It's cool that this stuff still just, you know, shows up in a junkyard, property cleaning, or you know, wherever it actually ends up. Now here's an interesting one, a EuroVan. Again, our local junkyard usually separates yards by trucks and cars, and never seen a EuroVan here, automatic. A lot of bits and bobs in the back. Check out this interior. This interior, I think, is in really good condition, and honestly would be a good candidate to potentially swap into another truck. Throw some headrests, there's no armrests, but those seats look pretty good, and they're manual, so you just pop them in. Honestly, that's got me thinking, I wonder if these would fit in a Range Rover. Those would look pretty dope, but someone's already harvested the majority of the stuff. roll up crank windows, base spec model. Interesting little truck. Look how tiny that is. 2.5. Here's another one that doesn't pop up often. Here's a long bed, extended cab, 4x4, F-150, an OBS one. A little bit of rust and whatnot on the cab corners and whatnot. But, you know, solid truck. Just these don't really pop up in yards all that often. Again, something I don't think I need anything from, but it's good to see that they come up every once in a while. The truck's, you know, it doesn't not deserve to be here. It's not in great condition. It's interesting because it has the trailer hitch and the tag on it. Usually that stuff's been removed, but cool to see. And actually there's a few of them. Let's go check the rest of them out. More and more trucks showing up. Maybe I will walk around the non-European section. Got a little Danger Ranger here. Same thing. Ooh, a little mud flap, little factory mud flap action. I'd be into that. Manual, 4-speed. Got the hubcap covers and everything. This is a clean little rig. If you were looking for some Danger Ranger bits, this would be something you wouldn't be mad about. Got some more Murfords. Huh, this one looks familiar. I think this is the free truck that we got during COVID. Someone wanted that interior. Steering columns are a thing on these. They're expensive and people grab them. Oh wow, this might actually be the truck that nope, that was the one we had was partially bedline, but same bumper setup. This one's still complete. Some more Danger Rangers, another F-150, looks like a old 4.9 straight six probably, with a F-250 OBS or a 90s model bench seat swapped into it, which that would actually match my truck if that didn't have the issues that it looks like it's kind of having. Good bumper on it. And another one, another 250. Another 250 four-wheel drive. Interesting. Still got some bits on it. Usually these are more picked over, so I'm fairly surprised about how complete it is. Which doesn't mean it's in good condition, just it's all there. Ooh, and a limo. I got nothing on that. I don't even want to walk over there, I'll be honest. I'm more interested in this little hot boy F-150 manual with the go fast pedal. You know, he got to auto zone on a daily basis, nice and quick. Doesn't run. 95. So it's not all that bad. Again, some interesting stuff around. The GM Cadillac stuff. Usually I don't spend too much time over there. I just don't have anything. So it's always fun to look, but when you don't have anything, you can grab. I like to look for a purpose, right? So this, look at this MX-5. That's not something you see often in a yard, but it happens. Let's see if it's automatic. It is. It's a nothing. That could have been a manual. Usually the engines are yanked out by now, but this one, I guess it's been here for a second. Took a little front end hit potentially. or the bumper was good and somebody grabbed it. Check out this Rodeo V6. This bash bar looks to be in pretty bad condition. I take it back. Nope, it's trashed. All right, E39, might as well check it out. All right, so we didn't quite make it out of the American section. This little Seville caught my eye just because it's an interesting package. You know, I'm not going to say they're undervalued because they don't have any value, but they for some reason catch my eye, mostly because it's a compact, smaller four-door sedan with a pretty decent sized V8. Again, it puts power to the front wheels, but you know, it'll get up and chirp those tires for the most part. And it's one of those things that it is ugly, but it's ugly in the way that it kind of grows on you. Obviously not this one, but svelte, red interior and whatnot would be. I could cruise around in this. I feel like not a bad time. You know, they really did pack these with a lot of features to try to keep up with the Germans. Maybe not from a road handling or a performance standpoint, but everything else, you know, it doesn't look as good, but it's functional. But this one's trash. Lots of trash. Yeah, so that'll probably wrap this one up. Finishing out on the Plymouth side, looking for maybe some bits for my van, but I don't really see anything. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this kind of quick walk around. If there's anything particular anyone would like to see when I do another one of these, let me know. You know, I like to get out here every once a month or so and cruise around. I don't like to screen cheat. I use radar, so I don't really check the inventory before I come. Hopefully there's going to be a surprise. So thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, do that fun YouTube stuff. Take a shout out to Cap Chesterfield Auto Parts here in Richmond, Virginia. Got a great selection, great website, and good prices for used parts.